Alrighty, folks. Hello and welcome to Phoenix International Raceway. My name is John Theodore, streaming live at twitch.tv/John_A_Theodore. Recorded version of this broadcast at youtube.com/John Theodore. I want to thank you all. Did I just say it again? Dang it. Twitch.tv/John Theodore live. I know, because I know I said the wrong one. So, bonk. I've gone through a few streams without doing that. Twitch.tv/John Theodore live is where you can follow for the live broadcast. YouTube.com/John Theodore is where the recorded versions of my races are. So please do the like, subscribe thing on YouTube. Do the follow thing on Twitter, if you like, or on Twitch if you like my stuff. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's still John_A_Theodore over there. Anyway, Twitter's on my brain because it's been an interesting day on NASCAR Twitter, and I will just leave it at that. I really am not interested in discussing it any further. Let's go get qualified. Phoenix. Final race for the Winter Series. I'm running this on Thursday night because I will be in Los Angeles for the Clash at the Coliseum on Sunday night when I normally run this series. So if you're in Los Angeles and you are attending the Classic Coliseum, look for me. Come find me. I will be wearing my Podium Esports hat, and I will be the guy that looks like me wearing a Podium Esports hat. So that will make me easy to find since you all know what I look like. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really fun race. You know, if nothing else, it's going to be entertaining. The iRacing version of the Clash for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series was hugely entertaining. So I think that bodes well for an entertaining race on Sunday night in the real and non-virtual cars. Probably should have thrown that lap away and restarted and tried again, because this lap is going to be a lot slower than that one. And I messed that one up completely. Really, at both ends of the track, I missed it by about a tenth each end. So, you know, it's fine. We're going to be starting 7th. That shouldn't be too bad. That should still keep us in front of most of the nonsense. Just frustrating because I know I can out-qualify that, but we're good. Yes, me looking like me is very convenient for people trying to find me. So, you know. Whoa! That's not too surprising, I guess. Bussa laying down a 580. I had an inkling that something like that was possible. Goodness me, that's fast, though. 697 is my optimal. That would have been good for third quick. Alright. Gauntlet thrown down. Noted. Fair enough. I didn't realize Bussa's I rating was so close to mine. 57.79. That's not insane, actually. Prior to Talladega, I was over 5,600, and, you know, could have been knocking on the door of that type of I rating at this point if Talladega had gone differently. It's too early in the racing evening to be yawning. So 156 laps at Phoenix shouldn't take terribly long, as long as it's not just an absolute caution fest. Yeah, B-Delb, I'm largely landing where you are on that deal.
All right, bud. You're ready to go. Like we've talked about time and time again, one lap.
Good luck, everybody.
One canopy
All right, here we go. I pledge to be a good sport whether I win or lose. My goodness. I pledge to be a good sport whether I win or lose, to know that people online are real people and my words have real impact, to set a positive example with my behavior, to speak up against discrimination, hate speech, harassment, and abuse, to show integrity by honoring the rules, my opponents, and my teammates, to stop listening and reassess if I'm told that my words or actions are harmful, and to respect others even if their sincere opinions are different from my own. ! GLHF in my Twitch channel chat. Link in the description below this video if you're watching on YouTube and you would like to take the pledge yourself and be a part of making online gaming a better and more pleasant place for everyone involved, because remember, folks, we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. So let's try to do that. All right. So we're starting 8th tonight in the as the 3rd ranked driver in the field. I have the number 27 custom number scheme on my car always, so the door of the car shows 27, but I'm the 3 car according to official iRacing timing and scoring. Strength of field tonight is 32.28, and we're getting ready to go. Hopefully we can have a good one. You know, depending on how things go, 156 laps at Phoenix can go pretty quick, or it can take an eternity if there are a ton of cautions. If it goes green, Caps is saying that it should take an hour and 17 minutes. I don't think it's going to go green the whole way. It could, but this is a pretty tricky car to handle here. I do expect there to be some self-spins tonight, and I also expect there to be some contact, because there's always a contact at Phoenix.
Back. Thank you. You can
the Doritos cars make me hungry.
Paints on my trading paints page.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Looks good.
You're making me hungry, man. Not cool. Not cool. Psychology game's starting already.
Slide back in your seat there, bud. Give those belts a good tug. Get a look at your steering wheel there. Make sure that thing's buttoned up right.
That Hooters car in front's got me thinking otherwise.
Thank you for that follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the family.
You ready? Green flag. Inside. Inside only. Still inside.
I don't know if we're going to have anything for Bussa tonight, but I am hopeful that we can
Still inside. Clear. Good job.
move up and make some moves on a couple of these guys as this race goes on a little bit. I felt like I kind of underperformed versus what I was capable of in qualifying, so I do think that I should be able to move up on some folks here.
Still inside. Clear, clear, good job. Outside.
16 is just...
Still outside.
He is all aggro at the start of this deal. It's not going to do wonders for his tires. He keeps that up. That was W-Step with the raid. Heck yeah. Thank you, W-Step. Appreciate you. Automobilista 2. Were you checking out the new Champ cars over there? I saw David Land, I think it was, tweeting about that new update that they had with the 90s Champ cars in there. Or the, yeah. Looks good. Very nostalgia. Looks like everyone up here is running pretty similar pace. 9 looks like he just got out of shape a little bit and maybe got the wall slightly. Focus on those corner exits. We are pulling away just a little bit from the 16, who is very aggressive on the first couple laps. And I think will likely have overheated his right front with that kind of driving. GTE at Road America, right on. I love Road America. Nice clean start to this one so far. Unlikely.
Yeah, puppy.
He was just trying to make up for yesterday.
Up 6 taking a look to the inside of the 9. Not there yet. Uh-oh. We got a spinner.
Keep it up, caution is out.
And the caution come out.
Pit road is closed.
I am totally sorry. That was all me. I just, I didn't want to lock the brakes and spin out, so I just kind of tried to trail it and go high. So yeah.
I think it's a little early to pit,
Glad you
honestly.
saved it. Wasn't trying to do anything
think
to
we should be behind
you
the
there. My
six.
bad.
So we're gonna stay out here. W-Step.
I felt
Take
like
care,
I
man.
was
Thanks for the
started
host. Really
trailing, but I
appreciate
guess
you.
it was still a bit too
Thank you
late,
for bringing your
so,
community
yeah,
over
that's
here.
all on me. If you come back up, I'll let you through.
I'm just glad I didn't
We're
run
staying
you
out,
over
and I'm
once.
not gonna fake because I don't want to fake anyone down pit road. I want other folks staying out, actually.
Yeah, I was really happy staying there and just chilling, and
Ryan is going
I
down
don't think
pit
it was
road.
I don't think you slowed down early at all. I think it was just me just a tad too late. But yeah, once you get on the brakes here, I feel like you kind of are committed. So
Yeah, you just smoked me. Sorry.
Saving fuel right now, it's more, you know, it's a good habit to be in, to be saving fuel anytime you're under yellow, but it's also potentially beneficial because if we get enough fuel saved under yellows and we need less fuel when we actually have to refuel, particularly if we can get that refuel number down
I think a lot
to
of guys are fighting really tight
11
in the
gallons.
open race last night. But you guys are all fighting loose, right?
That would be a big difference.
No, I'm tight.
Yeah, I'm tight right now. Like I said, once my tires wear, I get a little bit looser, but starting on runs with new tires is tight.
I'm a little loose in, tied off.
Yeah, basically, loose through the middle and the middle out is tight.
I'm just killing the right rear on my longer runs. It's like
Okay, Johnny,
10%
be ready.
lower.
We're going
Coming to the green. Okay, car's down. Be ready. Green, 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 green.
think I missed where the 9 got around to the 13. I'm guessing that was either... I don't think I saw him getting a pass on the restart, although that could have been it, but I think it was already there. I think it was in the whole checkup for the spin. He managed to get around him before the caution flew, probably. Running 8th right now, which is where we started. We lost that spot to the 9 car on the initial start. Ooh. Yeah, that'll torch the right rear. Doing that too many times and get you loose as the run goes on if you do that too much. So I want to be careful about that. You want to dig your exits, but you don't want to have the thing trying to spin out on you. Got close to the wall there, no good. Didn't hit it, but it did mess up my corner exit a little bit. Trying to take care of that right rear, keep it cool. Putting pressure on the 6, hoping that he might torch it a little bit, because that could set us up for an opportunity if we keep the pressure on him. If he overcooks it on an exit, like the 9 did right there, it might set us up for a pass. There's a yellow. Gonna stay out here again. Still too early to pit.
Pits are closed.
Sorry, hold on, man.
Looks like you should be lining up behind the 6.
Plan here is probably to make this a one-stop race. So can make it 90 laps on fuel, so once we're in range on that is probably when we'll come down pit road.
I always remember hearing NIS was cleaner like on the weekdays and on the weekends. I wonder whether it's like inverse with this. It's like the more practice, the better they get. I don't know.
Pit road will be open. Behind the 6.
A lot of guys faking. No one taking. Yeah, this is an official series.
Debris in the racetrack.
Yeah, thankfully it's not real life.
Just got to nudge that choose cone into position.
Exactly. Do we have to do everything around here?
Apparently.
13, do you have like a sweet chili Doritos, like purple car? I feel like that would also look pretty sweet.
That would look sick.
Yeah.
You should make it half Doritos, half Mountain Dew. I can make a sweet chili one, purple one, and post it up on Trading Plates if people are interested. My Trading Plate page has got a ton of Doritos cars for different flavors and different, styles of car. So, yeah, I can do that. Sweet, the purple one, no problem.
It's a good shade of purple on
One
those
to go.
too.
The end of this.
Right now, I just have this Cool Ranch one, and I have the regular nacho cheese. I was gonna do a blazing buffalo.
He's making me so hungry.
That
It's
one,
not
that
fair.
One looks pretty cool. It's like a
I'm
light
gonna have.
load.
I haven't had dinner. I ate slightly early lunch, and I actually did a lot more physical work today, digging my car out of the driveway so that I could take my dog over to the folks.
Yep. Yeah,
Since they're watching them for the weekend.
Blazing buffaloes, sweet
So I'm
chili,
actually pretty hungry.
That's a UK only product. They don't sell it here. Now we know because some guy from UK yelled at me and was like, you gotta put this one up, it's the best flavor ever.
But get those tires cleaned off. Get ready to roll here.
Which one is that? Which flavor do they only have in the UK?
Boss man, time to go to work. Green.
Cool layback, bro.
The bottom inside. Still inside. Clear low.
I was a little bit asleep on there, but
Outside.
the 11 was also laying back a bit on that restart.
Still there. Still out there. Clear.
6 gave me a little bit of a lift going into that corner, which was good. Didn't fight that too hard.
Outside. Still there, still there. Clear.
Don't get mad. Yeah, I'm not going to get mad or get even. I'm just going to go past him. That's how I get even. We were driving away from him before the run started. Or we were driving away from him on the last run, so... Should be able to close back in and make a pass on him pretty decently here. Wow, Ryan's ripped up through the pack with those better tires.
Inside. Clear. Caution.
And we got another yellow.
Sorry about that, but I was...
Boss,
I
you're
got
doing a
held
good
way
job.
so
Go
low.
give us an update on that car. The road is closed.
Man, that was an incredible jump on the restart. I gotta give you kudos.
Yeah, that Thai car jumped me in the last restart. He's real.
Is that how
real
he's...
good in those
11.
restarts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, restarts matter. I mean, like, you gotta
Open.
be on top of the game on restarts for sure.
When I say jumped, I don't mean he did anything wrong. He just got a really, he just gets a way better start than I did.
Cole's going down pit road. Rest of us are staying.
That was pretty tight right there, Sid.
Juan, where did you come out after the first stop?
40th.
Thanks.
Well, not 40th, but, you know, there are 25 on the lead lap right now. Midway, how you doing? Welcome.
Oh, one to go.
Sorry, it's Midway. There you go.
Nine,
So you got the little
but
salute
hopefully
dude in
it'll
your name?
Resolve itself.
Yep, Old Phoenix. Oh, they're fun to drive at Old Phoenix. It's like it you know, feels good. These cars are pretty fun to drive everywhere, honestly.
See him up there, boy.
Thank you for that follow.
Pace cars off. Be ready. Green flag, green flag.
Thomas Grau, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the family.
Inside. Still inside. Still inside.
Sorry, I didn't think you were drift up that much.
I'm going to let him go.
I didn't think I was either.
There's a huge
No
gap
problem.
back there.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get back to the
Race
throttle.
smarter, not
Yeah,
harder.
give you a little top tap.
Especially early on. Best thing about having him in front of us right now is that he's being really bold and aggressive on those passes, and he might get folks up and out of our way.
Outside. Clear if you need it. Outside, outside.
Whoops,
Still out
it worked.
there. Still there at your door.
That was interesting.
Looks like somebody's blinking
Still
bad
there.
up there.
Yeah, the 9's blinking pretty bad.
Yeah, the 9 is horrendous.
Still out there. Still there. Clear outside.
Oh, the 11 just got the wall.
All yours, Ford. Yep, no worries.
Ryan, have fun with this 9. I'll let you by.
Somewhat.
Good exit there. Not quite there to make a dive. And again, I've been seeing the 11 make really aggressive corner entries, so the way they get him is going to be on exit rather than entry.
All right, buddy, a
Thanks for
couple
cutting me
laps by
some
yourself
slack
there. How'd
back
it
there,
feel?
Wesley.
Closed right now.
Oh, did I? What did I do?
You didn't jam your nose in there like everybody else did.
Yeah, we were kind of eating you alive on the restart. I got eaten alive on the last restart.
I don't think I've ever seen someone like the
Line
9
behind
with
is 11.
blink this bad without disconnecting. I'm honestly impressed.
I had a guy I was doing a modified race with the other day that was number 9 as well, doing the same thing. Maybe that number's
Pit road
cursed.
is open.
I will be back the 9th. Was that?
Yeah, once I got out of my road,
Oh, is that you, Johnny?
everybody was just getting under me.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was a little bit of a dive, but, you know, I held it down. I felt like that was a clean pass.
I almost hit the pylon. Hey, are you alive?
Somebody lost some parts.
Yeah, I saw a fender or something sitting on the track.
I'm gonna hold my track position here. Yeah, that's the block build one, I think, Thomas. I still need to record my promo video for the Living Color. I'm gonna be packing it up after tonight to take out to LA so that Mike can update its firmware, and then I'll record the promo video after I get back. I'm planning on changing the way that looks. I want to change a lot about my setup here, but I want to make that a slightly different pattern.
What's that, Bobby? I'm assuming you're going to have a lot more speed on the restart. If you could just get me into 3 instead of 1, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh my God, Knight, you need to park that, man.
Yeah, you get to enjoy the blinking now. It's horrible.
1 to go.
Luckily I got by him, but holy crap, I haven't seen one that bad in forever.
Alright, so where are the guys
Solid for me.
that pit under this caution?
Yeah, I think it might be
First one's Mark in 9th.
No.
Alright.
He's blinking like a madman.
Yeah, he's blinking.
Yeah, he's been airborne for me a few times.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should be a very entertaining race.
Hey, fine for me.
Still 25 on the lead lap.
You need to park it, dude.
I don't think he hears any of us with that connection.
Coming to the green. Make sure you stay in line
Yeah,
before you
he's just
cross our
focusing
finish
on
line.
jumping the start really hard.
Pace car's off. Are you ready? Green. Good on lap time there, doing a good job. Working the bottom end.
Come on, dude.
Clear, clear.
Come on, dude. You weren't going.
What the fuck was that, man?
You missing a shift, I guess.
Dude, the guy was in front of me. I'm braking.
Up, I'm spinning.
Just thought about it. Gonna jump the
Oh,
start.
yellow, that's good.
I just need.
Nobody missed a shift, buddy. It was braking.
No, it was you not timing up, and then I was going to let it stop. I just wanted to look last time.
So you watch the replay.
What are you going to do about it?
Okay, tough guy.
It's a long race.
Oh!
I lost like all traction side. I don't know what happened.
That was a little bit of a dubious look from the 8,
Come on,
and
boy,
it was an
bring up the pace.
aggressive door slam by the 1.
Still out there at your door. Still there at your door. In and out.
Whoa!
One car inside.
All right, Marcus. Go right on through then.
9, please park that.
Guess that's what the new tires are worth.
Don't sign that one. I'd raise the brake bounce if I were you, and I think that's your problem. Just raise it.
Yeah, I had to raise my brake bias because I was so loose for once.
Contact behind us. Someone got the wall there. One's just all over the place right now.
Glad 9.
Inside. Still inside. Still there, inside. Inside only. Still inside. 2 inside. No hole right now. All clear.
Oh, goodness me. Why?
Rack.
How is there no yellow?
Yellow's out.
There we go.
Come on.
Can you see the pit sign now, or is it get more acclimated to it, or is it still difficult?
Didn't mean to bump you
The
there,
road is
John.
closed.
Everybody was going all nuts, including myself.
It's all good, man. No harm, no foul on my end.
Line up behind the gate.
There was some harm and some foul, though.
That's why I was specific.
That was a flagrant 2 foul, I think.
The road's open.
Yeah, I would say your guys' turn to run us down.
I'm going to hold a high 13. I need you to pass.
Stay out one more time here. Track position just matters so much. And we still can't make it from here. Although with cautions we probably could. Yeah, I don't know.
11. Guess a lucky
Couldn't
dog.
make it from here if it goes green. That's the thing that I'm using to gauge it. If everyone has to make one more stop.
All right, buddy. Line up behind the 11.
It's not been super toxic. But yeah, we got 110 laps to go. That's if it were 10 less laps, I'm out of pit. But even with the cautions, it looks like the most we can go on a tank of fuel is 100 laps. So next caution, I'll pit, and I'm sure we're gonna get another one. If we don't, you know, I can make it 50 laps from here. I think the tires can hold up. I don't think I've been too hard on them. Phoenix isn't usually too hard on tires, so I think we're still okay strategy-wise. I may have boxed myself into a very weird strategy that bites me, but I think we're okay.
Matt, I saw you took 4, so I'll let you by, assuming you have the pace early on. All I really care about is
Green
getting
next
away from the
time.
9.
But nice big deep breath here. Let's get ready to roll. Eight cars down. Green, green, green.
It was really unclear when he was going there. Oh boy. Contact between the 1 of Ryan Lutz and the 4 of Cole Dutton there on corner exit from turn 2.
Working the bottom. Still there. Inside.
We'll let the 6 have this going down into 1.
Hey, where'd you restart?
Still inside. Clear inside. Inside. Clear.
17th.
Gotcha. I thought you were like all the way back to 25th, already all the way up here. I'm like, man, I should just park it.
Hey, 24, you really want to start smashing into me right now?
Inside.
Oh my god, I wish I could
Clear.
like
Inside.
do a kick 9.
Still inside.
I really wish I could do a kick 14.
Still there.
Ooh, got me.
You guys should just
Still
figure out how to
there.
race around him. I mean, he's not nothing but complaining. It's not going to change his back.
Agreed.
Still inside.
I've heard you complain more times than I've heard anyone else. Just figure it out.
Still inside.
That's right.
Sir, yes ma'am.
Good one.
It's fair.
It's the legendary 9 car.
Still inside.
Oh, we got another one.
826, figure it out.
Still there. Clear. Inside, inside. You're
We're
clear
fine.
him.
We're fine. Just really overdrove that a little bit. Got a good exit. We're okay. Just made it a soft hit. The Phoenix Stripe. Oh my. Cole Dutton into the wall. That was more than just a stripe.
Yeah, way to
Not
go,
a ton more.
24. Try to drive through me and wreck yourself. Real nice. Good luck.
That is embarrassing.
Dumbass is back here.
Yeah, I don't want to be back there with those guys.
Outside. Still outside.
Go right ahead, Mr. Bussa.
Clear up
I'm
top.
gonna get a seizure from this 9, I swear.
Outside.
Oh wait.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
gonna get one yelling at you.
Outside. Still outside. Still there.
824, where you at
Still
now, Pop?
outside.
Come on.
Outside, outside. Still there.
Hey,
Still
figure
outside.
it out.
Still out there. Still there at door. Clear.
Wow. He is
All quiet
blinking
on the
horribly.
green corner. Damn it, Booster. Why you gotta be so fast?
Tires.
Inside.
I'll be right there.
Still inside.
What happened?
Clear
You can
low.
drive through me and wreck yourself?
Nah, man, you know, just drifting in and just lost it, man. It's not on purpose.
Drive through me, huh? Drive through me.
The thing that's frustrating is like the 9's so fast. I get why he doesn't want to give it up, but man, is that bad to drive around.
You on fresh? He's 8.
Yep.
Simple. Give it to you in 3-8.
Thank you.
Caution basically any time now would be fine and welcome. And I have a feeling we're going to get it with the way that I'm seeing some of these guys racing around me. And the chatter that I'm hearing in the back as well. One does seem like he's struggling a little bit with his car.
Inside. Still there, still there. Still inside. Still inside.
Run off the corner there.
Inside. Still there. Still inside. Still inside. Clear inside. Inside. Still inside. Still there. Inside.
Second time I've had to control a drift in 3 and 4.
Still inside. Still there, right next to you. Clear low.
All right, we're back into 9th. Looks like the tires on everyone else are evening out, so.
Inside.
Oop.
You're clear.
Sorry. Not expecting him to be that slow going in.
Outside. Still there. Still there. Still out there, man.
Is that the...
Still outside. Clear, clear outside. One inside. Still inside, even up. Still inside.
Get him on the outside if we have to.
Inside only. Clear.
Oh no.
Inside. Still inside.
We're fine.
Still
That
there.
was
Clear.
a mistake though, but we're okay. Still a 0x. A more significant hit than we got before. Shouldn't damage the car really at all, though. We ought to be fine. Caution sooner rather than later would be good, though. Overheated the right rear there. Need to take it easier for a little bit. A little bit further forward on the brake bias and some having the back end stepping out going into 3. That is not a good feeling. Right rear is way overheated.
Inside, inside. Still there? Clear.
You can't turn underneath me like that, 17.
He's done it to me like 4 times, so.
Still inside.
No, no, he's an asshole driver. I know
inside. Clear, 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 clear. Inside.
How can I turn below you when I'm in front of you?
Except I was in your outside, you're way outside.
Clear.
I was in your inside. You could have crossed the entire track to the bottom of the track.
Still there.
So you were trying to cut underneath me?
Still inside.
No, you overshot the corner. I held low, and you cut back across.
Still inside. Clear inside. Inside, inside.
Caution would have been welcome there,
Inside, clear.
but we're fine. Ugh. I have really over... There we go. Oh, goodness.
Real quick.
That's a lifesaver.
Close.
All right.
Come in, you be behind 26. from around the same car. You'll be lining up behind the 26.
I think I've killed the right rear.
Line up behind the 17.
Oh no, John, what happened?
You'll be lining up behind the 15.
I think my right rear's gone.
Looks like you should be lining up behind the 14.
Hopefully you didn't get too damaged.
Surprised we're not getting those spots back usually. Yeah, well.
Back in the day, didn't you used to run a Carl Edwards paint scheme? Wes?
Yes, sir.
Thought so. Having flashbacks. I was just thinking about this. I've been racing with you on and off.
That's good to know.
I think like 20 years.
Yeah, probably like 16 or 17, something like that.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's got to be over 15 years for sure.
22.
That was costly. Man, we'd done so well hanging on to our track position there for so long. And gave it all away there at the end of the run.
Around 05, maybe 04.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
All right. Yeah, the right rear was at 9%.
Saved somewhere from those days.
Yeah, I do too.
Go Mango, hard,
My old computer has them.
No damage.
You'll be lining up behind the 25.
19, go below me.
Lefts are at 81.78, so we're fine there.
All the Roush cars. I ran Mark Martin's and Kansas and Carl's. As they left Roush, I jumped to another car.
Yep. You know, we
Should be good to make it
Bob
to
on
the.
Here, he don't like racing because he can't. All these years I didn't know he wasn't
End of the race.
in cockpit.
Yeah, no damage.
On Route 2.
Oh yeah, in the old game I ran.
And we got fueled to the end.
Well, the problem is now he can't adjust to iRacing, so he don't race it. He's still.
Carl's the Mark Martin of. Yeah, I think he was the Mark Martin of his era. I think that's fair. Best driver to not win a championship from his era.
He could run a league and race the outside view, but yeah, you can't do it in official races.
Yeah, it's time to time.
No, it's tying up.
As a Carl Edwards fan, it's painful to be reminded of that stat. So much pain.
Oh, that pace car's off. Be ready. Green flag.
What are you guys waiting for here?
I'm waiting for the 9 car to quit blinking.
Uh-oh.
I'll figure it out. Really, one car?
Alright. Had to reset my brake bias there. We're good now. Although I might actually just wind it further forward and leave it there. Since we're fine on rotation, that's not our problem we're having. We're cooking the right rear more.
Why? What did I do?
Sorry, 16, I got real loose there.
Oh, goodness.
And then I got ran into.
Sorry, 14. Sorry, 14. Sorry, my apologies. I fucked up.
All good, all good.
Alright, let's start running a little bit better pace here.
Inside. Still inside. Still inside. Still there, door. Still on the inside.
Did you get any access from that? Because I didn't. 0, 0. 0. Yeah, I mean, I locked up my tires a little bit, and I touched the outside wall, but my car feels completely fine, so no harm, no foul. Thanks.
Inside only. Still inside. Still inside.
I wonder if we're all jumping around on his screen.
No, I got him solid.
Still there.
That would give you a seizure.
Clear him.
He's blinking at the same pace as that back light on the Formula One cars when they're recharging their batteries.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Outside.
You get the hybrid 87 car.
Still out there.
Or a battery-powered router.
Outside. Outside. Still outside.
2-3-1-7.
Working the outside. You're clear. Outside. Still outside. Still outside.
All right.
Still out
Well,
there. It's quarter.
11's having
Clear.
some issues. Trying to take care of the right rear, because if this thing does happen to go green the whole way, we want to make sure that it stays on the car for the full run, which, given what we just experienced right about the halfway point,
Holy shit.
would be an issue if we're driving it too hard.
Man, it almost feels like Martin's or something when you get stuck on the outside.
This track does share some similar characteristics with Martinsville. Biffle never got a championship.
Slow one up here in front of you. Stay
Hey,
on the
look
top
who's
side.
spinning again.
Caution, caution.
It's a yellow.
Talk to me, good footing up. 0's close.
Eddie, you should put that
Looks
thing
like
in the
you'll be
garage.
lining up
here
behind
when
the
we get
11.
Zip it.
Get behind the 11.
I think my brake bias, I went too low, and just as I touch it, it just seems to get loose as I'm coming out a couple of corners.
So you're aware, this car, you can go all the way up or down in car.
Leave the brake bias there. That felt pretty good. I've seen what new tires are worth, and we've still got 2 sets left. We're not going to use them all, so
Yeah, I
I
really
will
like
use
that
a set
theory.
right
I think
here.
the 9's
Start looking for your
getting
sign.
more ERS deployed.
We're having a
5,
bad storm
4,
up here in New England,
3,
guys. Cut him some
2,
slack.
1. Stop on the sign.
I'm not going to cut him any slack. That's ridiculous.
Well, here's an option 7. Figure it out.
Thank you for saying that for the 10th time.
Go, Diego! Go, 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 go! Hard, 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 hard!
I've never heard someone complain so much about one guy blank.
Alright, looks like
I've
you
never
can line it
heard
up
someone
behind
complain so much
17.
about people complaining about blinking.
Hey!
Yeah, all you gotta do is listen to your Twitch, and that's all you've been doing this whole episode.
That's not true at all, but I appreciate the view, man. Thank you so much. It really helps my stats. Just want to point out that there would be half as many people talking if the folks complaining about the people complaining would shut up.
Yo, Austin.
I'm confused.
Look, it's simple. If the 9 was racing like he should, which is pull off when he doesn't have a good connection, we wouldn't have an issue.
How does he know he has a connection problem? What if he doesn't have voice chat?
Get behind the 17.
To be fair to the 9, though, he has a lot of pace, so I could be aggravated if he had to move out, especially with how well he's running. So
I will say
that's-
this, and
there's
this is just a general rule of thumb and a message specifically to Ryan Lutz, since he cares so much about it. If you have a problem with me talking on Twitch, don't watch me while you're racing. Pro tip.
That's Blazing Buffalo.
That's on you.
I think it's Blazing Buffalo and Ranch, maybe? I don't remember.
All right. Now that we've got that cleared up, we've got, what,
Y'all can go to my training page
64
afterwards
laps
and
to go?
figure it out. It's all there. All
One
the
to go.
flavors.
Obviously, you'll be on the outside here of the 3-stirp.
That's all you all need to do about
That's the
complaining.
word of the night.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Hey, figure it out. Oh, man. I don't think he's got FAA clearance.
No, you're not allowed to say it, though.
Figure it out.
Apparently
What
you
in the
can't.
world?
That's going to be my answer to everything. Can't. I'm figuring it out right now.
Was he...
Oh, I'm figuring. I'm up here figuring it right now. All day long.
I think he was catching up the bottom, and Mark
But
was...
can you figure it out? That's the question. You can't just figure it. I think you
That
gotta
was
figure
weird.
it out.
He had to catch up, and Mark was down low for some
Good.
reason.
Will be figured out.
So he got
Let's keep going
caught.
right direction. 10-4. Alright, buddy.
He's trying to
Line
catch back up and not
behind
give people
14.
black
Yeah, then he
flags.
get by, then catch back up.
Pace cars off. Be ready.
I don't know what Kevin's doing down in the low line.
Working the outside. In and out. Still there.
Wow.
Inside only. Too wide inside. Clear, 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 clear. Caution, caution.
Sorry if I caused that. I was about to get run into behind,
Closed
and
right
I
now.
jumped to the apron to
Maybe
avoid
line
doing
up
that,
behind
and
the
it caused a
11.
mess. I'm sorry.
Alright, we need to be behind the 18. We're gonna have to
Said
come
we're
around.
gonna put
the
it
main car.
out.
Alright, so we're gonna have to come around
Figure
the
it
17.
out.
Line up behind the 22.
Nope, we're putting it out.
Put it out, figure it out.
Alright, you're gonna have to come around the
I don't
car.
put that on
Who's
Cole,
gonna
man.
figure
I
it
don't
out
know what the
Sunday night
22 is
Coliseum?
doing.
That's what I want to know. Who's gonna figure
Like-
it out?
Roads open.
I put that on the 22, kind of,
Not you.
honestly. Like, Cole really made a dive. That's fair.
I like how
Like,
everyone's like, oh, man,
but
it's just
he had
track.
someone,
It's
he was
so
right, he
easy
had
to
someone
favor,
making
and
the
I'm
same
just
dive
like,
on
it's fine,
him.
so it's just like a mini
I don't know
marathon,
what the
isn't it?
22 is doing.
Yeah, Danica's gonna win.
He was just like all the way down on the inside from the
Figuring it
restart
out.
and kind of just parked it. Like, that was unfortunate.
You had her chance to figure it out.
I don't know
She
why I
couldn't
got
figure it
turned.
out.
I agree.
24. Got the lucky dogs. Gonna have one coming to the outside.
Go figure.
That really heated up our tires too, so that probably just used up all of the advantage that we had for the newer tires. Not
Coming to
good.
be behind the 22.
We're in a pretty rough spot at the moment.
Get there and bump him, John. Huh? Get up there and bump him.
Can't bump what you can't see.
They'd probably explode and achieve orbit.
I did, and he wiped me out.
I don't think I'm approved for high distance flying or orbiting, so until I get the certification, I don't think I can go up there.
You're not a civilian astronaut?
Alright.
Sounds like you haven't figured it out yet.
Hey Cole, where are you from in Virginia?
I'm in Richmond right now. I'm from Southwest Virginia, though.
10-4, where
A little place called Chilhowie.
That's where I'm at now.
What the hell?
Small world.
Wasn't it figured out the name of that show on Nickelodeon years ago?
I don't remember that one.
Hell yeah, it was. You get slimed and all that shit.
Do you live in Chilhowie?
There was a show on Nickelodeon called
Sure
Figure
do.
It Out where you got
I
slimed.
didn't hear anything, but
I thought that was
apparently
Guts.
you want to
Hell.
go.
Or,
Outside.
I don't even remember what that show is called.
I instantly know who your brother is, and that's how I figured that out.
Oh, he figured it out.
That's exactly what I was thinking. 97, 98. Interesting.
If I had $1 for every time I've figured it out, I could afford to pay the 9 to get good Wi-Fi.
Ooh. Oh.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
Well played.
He could figure it out then.
You could figure it out. The phrase of the day is figure it
That kind
out.
of money, there'd be some interesting figures.
All right, pace cars off. Be ready. Green flag. Outside.
All right.
Clear high. Outside. Still outside. Clear. Inside, inside. Still inside, even up. Inside's clear. Outside. Clear, clear, clear.
Just gonna let the one clear the way for me here.
Outside.
Makes things easier.
Clear outside if you want it.
If we can keep up with them, that is.
Hey, Matt, this is usually the time you go take a pee break.
Still there. Still out there. Clear high.
Hey, I got my first win. I appreciate
outside. Still out there. Clear,
No,
clear,
not again.
Clear.
Thanks, 11.
Yeah, but I'll leave this one on you. If you
Oh,
want to
goodness.
stay out.
Sorry to see that, John.
Single file. Hit road, Will.
Thanks, 11. Brilliant.
I think we should be behind the 24, get behind the 18.
Matt couldn't have timed the pit stop better, I swear.
Alright, you're going to have to come around the pace car.
Yeah, it was pretty
Come line up
good.
behind the 18.
It's cool, bro. What goes around comes around.
What, you stop in the middle of the corner?
I didn't stop at all. You just ran right over me.
Yeah, you ain't got that roll center, boss.
I think you need to open your eyes, boss. Learn how to drive.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
No, sir.
I knew it wasn't me, man. I knew it was you who sucked.
You're the same cocksucker driving over me.
Man, you starting beef with everyone. That ain't gonna go well for you, I don't think.
I'll take it.
You want to say that again?
Figure it out.
It's all fun and games until
They're
somebody
looking for
doesn't
your
figure it out.
5, 4,
Kill Howie!
3, 2, 1.
What we have here is
Stop on the
failure to
sign.
figure it out.
Now that's a fact. We're not going to get all this repaired. We're just going to go.
Hashtag figure it out.
Go man, go man, go man, go. 0 speed.
Is the Irwindale Oval, is that like a...
Minute optional, don't matter at all.
Or is it actually like
one bit of
outdoors?
broad cars remaining. Alright, looks like
One set left, that's plenty.
So I guess you could say that the inner figure 8 is a figure 8 out.
I like it. It's pretty smart of you to figure that out.
We might be done pitting for the rest of the race, honestly. Guts was. What am I thinking of? There was another show, Double Dare. I'm thinking of Double Dare. That was the one with the trivia and the slime, right? Man, it was so long ago. Dare and Double Dare. Yeah, Guts was the one with the aggro crag.
Why did Bussa pit?
Gotcha. I'm not trying to watch it again. I'm just trying to remember what the name of the show was. I went and saw it live once. That was fun.
Bathroom
I think I was less than 10, though. If I was at all slow, it was because I wasn't running over the guys in front of me.
Yo, Kevin, how many times I gotta
yeah.
tell you to figure it out?
Dude, I'm figuring so hard right now.
Yeah, figure out how to punch them keys.
So Bussa stayed on the lead lap. Well, we should be able to just follow him. If we can get around Mark, follow him right up to the front. See if we can figure out what Bussa's doing. You know, we just need to figure it out.
I bet. Pace cars off. Be ready. Green, green, green.
See, that's part of the issue is that the 22's just sitting down low there. That it's not really in line on the restart. I don't know why he's so slow.
Still inside. Clear
And why he's doing that. Does he have engine damage or something? Oh boy. Oh boy.
There will be a caution.
Well, they figured it out.
And I saw that coming.
6, I'm so sorry. I did not expect you to check up that much. I am sorry.
Maybe he should have figured
I guess
it
you gotta
out.
Figure it out.
He did not figure it out.
One, I'm quite pissed, but I fucking saved it, so it is what it is.
I did not expect you to check up that
Pit
hard.
road is open.
I did not figure it out.
Did not figure it out.
Ryan, was it kind of like what happened with between you and me early on, just like a bit of a small tap in the back?
What's that?
No, he said he just checked up a bit earlier than you expected. That was kind of what happened early on with you and me. Just curious if it was like the same.
Yeah, well, I get why you did it now. I did not mean to do that whatsoever.
He should have figured it out.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out.
I did not figure it out.
Might want to figure that one out.
Wasn't there a snack called figurines?
I don't remember that.
I think it was for people watching their figure.
Oh, that's probably why I don't remember it.
Alright, we're restarting in 12th here with better tires than most everyone up in front of us by enough to be significant. We got less than 50 to go.
The new
Should be
track
good.
again? It's not Phoenix. It's like a bunch of letters or something, like AMP.
Yeah, Figure Hat Motor Park.
It was. I think they changed it back.
Oh, I guess the name couldn't figure itself out.
34. Can you hear me?
It was ISM,
Radio
but I
check,
think
Earl,
that
can
was
you hear me?
like a
Yes, sir. One to go.
shit endorsement, but it expired, I believe.
I checked up early because I just didn't want to push up taking that low of an entry.
Nah, we're in a
I thought it
decent
was
spot.
like Jeff Gordon Speedway for one race as well.
Yes, they renamed it Jeff Gordon Speedway for his final race here.
Huh, I missed that.
I think they did something similar with Jimmy Johnson at track or something.
Catch your breath.
I don't remember them doing it for Jimmy. They wouldn't have done it here because Phoenix, he didn't really dominate Phoenix. It would have been like Dover. Oh, they may have done it at Dover, actually. Dover would have been the place.
Green, green, green.
And they may have done that. That does sound kind of familiar.
Outside. Still outside. Clear outside. Inside. Still inside. Still inside. Still inside. Too wide inside.
Oh, goodness me.
Sorry, I had to check up into there with the wreck.
One inside. Still inside. Still there. Still inside. Clear inside. Outside. Still outside. Outside. Still out there. That's it, man. Get that rhythm.
Bandit.
Still outside.
Trying to keep pace with that 2 car.
Clear.
Nine's blinking his way to the lead.
Hell yeah, Bandit.
Outside. Still outside. Clear. Outside. Clear outside. Inside. Still there. Still there on the bottom. Stay on the bottom.
There he goes.
Last flip of the 23 weeks.
There will be a caution. Left, same fuel. Pit road's closed.
Finally. Freaking finally.
I think the 9 finally figured it out.
Hey.
I think it got figured out for him.
How ironic that the 1 was the one who figured it out for him.
I figured it out. None of you guys can figure it out.
Alright, we need to be behind at 7.
Ryan, you might have talked a lot of smack, but man, you're the MVP.
I mean, I don't know where he went. I was trying to Google, what do you do? He started a war he don't want to start. The 1's been trying to figure it out for a lot of people this race.
10-4.
$40 to go. We're fourth. And we got a lot of buffer cars. Let's see, where's the 5 going to restart? That's who we're going to look at. It's going to be outside of the top 10.
Like we're going to have some figuring out.
We got 23 left in the race.
You know, that one car may have a little bit of damage to his nose because he damaged my rear bumper.
That won't matter in these cars. I got a minute 15 and I'm just as fast as everyone else right now.
Yeah, as long as your engine's revving at the right level, you're fine.
What level would that be? Bear it out.
950.
950 what?
Thousands.
Celsius.
Bitcoins.
We're on 1 to go.
Units.
Yeah, 950 Unreal units. Like in Rocket League.
This is the Phoenix I remember. A caution every 10 laps or fewer.
Yeah, this has been a worse race than the one yesterday. Lots more caution.
But get those tires cleaned
It's
up.
nice to have that kind of stability in the world.
There would be less caution if people just figured it out.
It's true. He's not wrong.
Pace car's off. Be ready. Green. That snap was good. That's where you need to be. Keep it up. Outside. Quarter outside. Clear high. Patient, be larger.
Alright, we're running third. 3 car, and we finally got ourselves into third place. What a race this has been. Gonna be 36 to go at the line. Oh, man.
Yeah, we were 3 wide 17.
It's a great last lap, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, somebody dug it under me, and I couldn't go any lower because of that.
Bussa has definitely figured this place out.
I don't think the guy on the outside knew.
I think he's figured out iRacing in general, though. He's taken a much higher line through 1 and 2 than the rest of us are. I think that might be part of it. See, what I did there is I lifted and I didn't run the one over, which is unlike what the 11 did. I figured it out.
Inside quarter. Still there. Still inside. Still there. Clear. Clear.
There's a car up here.
Hey, thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the family. Taha Diabo.
Caution's out.
Yellow's
I
out.
am so freaking sorry, dude. I'm so bad.
Yeah, did my radio sound bad out there?
I have nothing to say. I'm
Pit
just
road
sorry.
is closed.
To pit or not to pit?
Looks like you'll be lining up behind the one.
I kind of feel like not pit. Feel like most folks won't pit. Track position is going to matter a lot.
Open.
I knew you were on slower tires, and I was trying to check up. I was just driving like I had always done every single lap before, and yeah, I'm sorry for everything.
It's all good, man. Things happen.
Lining up behind the pace car.
Did
Doing
anyone
the same
tag
thing
you
that
on
these
the
two are
stint,
doing.
Or did you keep it clean?
No, it was all clean.
Start looking for your sign.
This is our last pit stop for sure.
He barely touched me, but I got 0 wreck, so... Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
Tempting to stay out there. I don't know what the right call was.
Go, 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 go. Pit road speed. Drive smart. There are no more right side tires.
I think staying out was the right call there.
File, please.
Look at how far back we are. I think we just threw this away. We'll see. We got 30 laps and better tires, but not by enough. We should be able to follow Bussa up through. I thought we were going to pull more people with us pitting there. Maybe not. Yeah, well. Jeff Anderson, how you doing? We're only restarting 16th, though. It's not like we're super far back. It's just with the way that this race has been caution, 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 caution. I feel like that was maybe the wrong call. Because I think it's going to be caution, 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 caution. Now we're stuck in the back. Yeah, I don't know.
1 to go. Coming to the green here, bud. Get those tires cleaned off, drag those brakes. Pace cars off, be ready. Green flag. All go. Inside. Clear. Caution, caution. What do you think, bud?
Dang.
You think you're all right out there?
Yep. Really wish I hadn't pitted.
Pit road is closed.
I think it's going to be
figure
fun.
this
I'm
out.
looking forward to it. Heading out there tomorrow. Oh no, there goes Cole.
Open.
That stinks. I don't know what happened there,
Just
but that was
curious,
bad.
If we raced at the old, if we raced at the new Phoenix, think it would have been any better, worse, similar?
Probably similar, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I feel like New Phoenix has a little bit more grip, though.
You go try it there and figure it out. Let us know.
Yeah, it's got more grip. I think that's mitigated by the cut on the back, on what's now the front straight.
This is John Theodore on tap tonight.
I mean, I think I clipped the curb in the trial pool one lap ago, and I almost spun the car, so I was surprised.
Yeah, Matt, you should pick up your quality back there. Nod.
Jake, you talk a lot, man.
Yeah. Better entertainment than your stream.
I don't.
Yeah, we probably doubled the amount of cautions this race than we did the one yesterday with a much lower strength of field.
You got 35 years to say otherwise. I
Everybody's
really don't care.
bailing here.
Not overly concerned about how guys drive like that.
Feels
Think
like it.
I'm entertaining or not.
I wish there was a measure that said not the strength of field, but like the range of field, like from the top to bottom, because I feel like sometimes when you have a closer range, that actually makes it more problematic with cautions.
No, the range was pretty good yesterday as far as people who were in it. People weren't driving as hard, it seems. A lot more giving room and whatnot.
I think Dale's overrated.
We had 60 green flags.
Right on,
left,
Discussion. I
at one time,
appreciate you.
Mark.
It was a blast because you really get to have comers and goers when they came to under the green. Now it's comer and goers based off if you have fresh tires or not.
Or if you need to use the bathroom.
That too.
Dale really wasn't that good. I was there.
What were you, 2?
Yeah, he didn't figure it out.
Scumbag.
Oh my goodness.
1 to go.
He figured it out 7 times.
He didn't figure out I don't won.
Restarting 15th. I mean, with better tires, we've got time, if it stays green, to make up these spots. And we've also got the green-white checkers, so the fact that we'll still have better tires for that should help, I think. We just got to make up spots pretty quickly here. Use that outside in 1 and 2. That's a clutch little bit of information that we learned from Bussa right there. That better line.
I better keep focused now. 1 lap at a time. Boss man, do your thing. Green flag. Outside. Can't tell yet. Still out there. All clear. Outside. Still outside. Still outside. Outside clear. Outside. In and out. 1 car inside. Still inside. Working the bottom. Clear low. Outside. Outside. Still outside. Still outside. In and out.
Got back to the gas a little bit too hard there.
Still there.
Saved it.
Still there at your door inside.
One could have run me over and he didn't.
Still inside. Still inside.
Oh, the same did not happen there. He didn't figure that one out.
But I'll leave this one on you. If you want to stay out, we'll stay out.
Yeah, we'll stay out.
How many cars
Use
you
our
run
last
over?
set.
One?
Several.
Why'd you stop?
Probably because the guy in front of him did.
That's gotta be the dumbest thing anybody ever says. Why did you stop?
That's
He's
what
been doing it all day.
what we have here is a lack of situational awareness.
Funny, the one who keeps telling everybody to figure it out can't do it himself.
One car, get him the trap.
12.
I didn't hear you
come
say
by,
pits are open
please.
there, Earl. Looks like it.
Let's piss poor over there, one.
We'll see if some folks pit.
The one car figured out how to make contact with every single other racer today.
No, y'all don't understand. He's number 1, so you just
There
gotta
they
let
go.
him get on by.
There they go. There go a bunch of them. Now we want folks behind us to stay
Yeah,
out.
that kind of racer don't deserve
And they
that
are.
power.
Well, he won't be the number 1 rated driver in this field after this race unless Bussa gets wrecked.
Deuce is on a mission.
He is, and I'm on a mission to just follow whatever he's doing.
Oh, I've tried to follow him, and then through one corner, he's already 3 seconds ahead of me.
I've had so many times where I've got a better run to the center of 1 and 2 because, you know, the other car in front of me has old tires or has to check up or whatever, and I don't hit them because that's a dick move. You guys would just go, oh, why'd you stop? And run over somebody, you're kind of a dick.
And it's true. You have figured it out, Seven.
It's all about working around traffic and finding the perfect time to capitalize.
Well, that mentality of, oh, you slowed down in the corner, so I have the right to drive through you, is it ruins the service.
To be fair to the one, he could have dumped me twice and lifted and didn't, so, you know, he wasn't doing it to everyone. And he was mad at me, so.
Yeah, you don't need a cookie when somebody doesn't run you over. When you do the right thing, you don't get praise for that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's not what I'm not looking for praise for myself, but I've seen him run over a few people and then he goes, well, you stopped. So, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So is this series under new yellow, or is it green, white, checkered?
This one's 3 attempts.
Is this only for, like, the big winter whatever race?
Yeah, the original, or the regular officials is just, if it's like, if it's going to enter into caution, it's going to enter caution. No green, white, checkers or anything.
For what it's worth, Seven, from what I saw was that it looked like you had to check up for the 19, and then the one I don't think realized what was going on between you and the 19.
Get yourself something to drink, bud.
Get ready.
And I had to check up for the 25 in front of me, so, I mean, I apologize about that, 7, but I couldn't run over the 25.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you did anything wrong, 19 either. Like it was a stack up, and that just the one didn't react in time because he and like all of us are trying to get through everyone because we're trying to make the most out of our tires. Just a bum racing deal.
I see my quality's low. I apologize at the end.
Yeah, the bigger thing I've been noticing, it seems that people aren't really looking too far ahead to see what's transpiring to know what they need to do.
That does happen a lot.
Just let off, let people buy me, and then a lap later, boom.
8's actually having a little bit of a blinking issue.
All right, boss man, pace cars off. Green flag. They're pretty busy, but when you get a chance, good look at your temps for me. Outside. Still out there. Caution is out.
Ah! Come on!
You guys gotta be the biggest jokers in the back. Y'all talk about people blinking. Why don't you park it?
Oh, who did Marcus have contact with there? Who was it? We will not have many laps, but we're in a decent spot here with where the tires are.
What's your problem, huh? Not my fault you missed the shift and popped the cherry.
Oh, I guess he truly didn't figure it out.
Get behind.
Oh no, he got collected in that deal with the 7, and he went into the wall pretty good.
My only problem was he was being really aggressive and hitting people, and he ran me up the track once and sideways, and he was just a weapon. I feel like tonight. Maybe not always, but he was tonight.
Like I said, I know some people who, and this is not everybody, but that have the higher number believe they have the better right of way, and they complain when people who are lower number aren't kind of like releasing to them in a sense. Like I know Matt is, I've raced him a bunch, higher number than me all the ways. Never had an issue with him.
Well, he doesn't take up 5 lanes when he goes in the corners.
Ford Racer 2020, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Or thank you for the raid, actually. Appreciate that. Thanks for bringing your community over.
Crash restart,
We're gonna have about 10 laps left here.
He got a little bit behind me, but he didn't like turn me or anything. Kind of let off a little bit, and I just gave him way for turn 1. So, I think we all understand that if somebody's faster than us, we're just, if we're not really trying to defend, we're gonna let that guy get by, especially if they have fresh tires.
It's called respect, and Ryan had none of it tonight.
Nope.
Early predictions on green white checker count. I'm gonna guess 0 and be optimistic.
Yeah, same.
Again, my problem isn't somebody racing hard, but if you're going to race hard, you can't go into a corner and slide up 3 lanes. And he did that a few times. I saw him do that, run into people. That's where I take exception. And whenever we're kidding around about a guy warping on track and he takes offense to us complaining, like he's complaining about us complaining, he's allowed to complain, but we're not. I'm like, nah, you're being ridiculous.
He didn't win a lot of hearts and minds with that, I agree.
He just didn't figure it out.
I never imagined Phoenix to be basically North Wilkesboro with short track heatedness.
Oh, Phoenix gets this way a lot. This is a fairly typical Phoenix race, if I'm being honest.
Damn, I guess I was on a good one on Monday. Or Wednesday.
Yeah, this is a typical Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, with Phoenix, if you get 5 laps and folks get going in a little separation, you can run green the whole way. But once you have 1 caution, it just tends to facilitate a lot more cautions.
Thanks, John, for all the information. Yeah, I'm sure your viewers love it.
Oh my gosh, Jake, literally no one in this room cares what you think.
All right, Earl.
Tell 3 viewers watching you that you said hi, all right?
Hey, that's my friend.
I have 0 viewers, so for what it's worth.
Pace cars off. Be ready.
Oh, Rick on the yellow again.
Outside. Clear if you need it.
Nice.
Caution.
Oh.
How you doing in there, kid?
All right, at least we got a spot there.
Closed.
This is just getting ridiculous.
Sorry, Bruce, I just couldn't judge when they're going. Let you get ready to get by me so I can make some run, hopefully. I just don't want to get in the guy in front of me, so I just wait to see them lurch.
It's not on purpose. It's just, it's desperation is what it is.
John, I was going to let you go last time.
Dude, who was the guy that ran me over? Who?
The road will be open to the caution car.
Yeah, 19, it's all good, man.
Yeah, I was still talking to you.
Holy destroyed my car.
Did you get turned before the restart? Somebody did a hard left turn into the inside, coming through 3 and 4 before the green even came out.
No, that was a blue. That was a blue car that got turned. It was a yellow car. It might have been a Wrangler car that just turned me going into one big time. I'm gonna look at the replay, see who that was.
I'm not gonna wreck the 11. Thank you for the follow, though, 631R Barb. Appreciate you.
Just plowed into me.
I don't wreck people. Like, now, I'm not going to give them any additional room. You know, I'm not going to cut them any more brakes, but I'm not going to wreck them. It's not how I race.
Everybody's blinking today.
I was gonna ask, could you hear him or see him? He's blinking like crazy.
A lot of bad weather out.
Yeah, especially in the northeast.
I'm a little annoyed this caution, I'm not going to lie. When a dude wrecks you and then he's a jerk about it, kind of rubs you the wrong way.
Not see me? What was that all about?
No, it says Doritos pretty big on the back of it. That's all. Apologies.
It went, You know, when you wreck somebody, it's courtesy to say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Because now that I had to call you out, I think you meant it. So I owe you one.
Yeah, definitely meant to wreck the guy in 14th. That'll get me there. Good thinking.
Well, I guess it's important. I guess it was that important to you that you did it.
That's a bad move, wrecking the Doritos car, man. That's everyone's favorite in the whole room.
Yeah, I bet your viewers like Ranch Doritos. That makes sense.
The reason you wrecked him was because you were worried about his viewers too much.
Love them.
And 4.
We love Cool Ranch Doritos over here. I'm not ashamed to admit that. They're delicious.
Cool Ranch is best.
I like to have them with my Domino's pizza.
I want them with the Mountain Dew. Anybody else feel me there?
Oh, yes, sir.
I think he's setting you up, Mark.
Fun fact for people, I did one of those Doritos Super Bowl commercials years ago.
Kevin Chandler and Kevin Harvick.
Got in the semifinals.
Heck yeah.
Didn't make it, but I went about a good 3 years without even being able to eat Doritos because I ate about 8 bagfuls that day.
I'm so hungry, too. I'm going to have dinner after this race. It's going to be so good.
It was a lot of fun. We got in the top 15. Didn't make the cut for the top 10. But, you know, it was a nice little time. But, man, I had to have 8 full bags of Doritos throughout that entire day. So, I got a little sick for a while from them. But I can finally digest them again.
You're ready to rock and roll, man. Space cars in. Be ready. Green.
All you, John.
Just had to make sure I didn't pass him before the line.
See the track in the corner starting to rubber up and all. Outside. Still there. Still outside. Quarter outside. Clear.
We are in the top 5, I think, now, though. Yeah.
5 to go.
That's about right.
That's it, man. Make them eyes pop out. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Wesley, that's not how we figure.
Oh, caution. Unbelievable. Please tell me it was the 11.
Sorry
wasn't.
about that, 8. I did not mean to touch you at all.
Well, if you were going to get to the white flag, I totally would have given you it. I just really wish you went green, so see what happens.
Thanks for the foul, Bearded Sim Racer. Appreciate you. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, likewise. Sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to slide up into you.
Now
there.
we're in the green ride checker territory here.
So I'm going to give you my perspective, 11, and you can correct me where you disagree. You dive bomb me into 1, slide up into the lane and a half, door me. You did that earlier too, but I gave you a break. So then I just maybe barely door you here, and you just had to dump me. Is that about the story that I just saw?
That sounds about right.
I ain't getting any extra for it.
Pit road is open.
We're all good. 12.
So it sounds like the 7 and the 13 have a problem with the 11.
Oh, seriously, I didn't get any extra for that.
And the 3. You can add the 3 to that list.
Yeah, I got the 3 earlier.
Hey, guys, he didn't get any X's. It's all good, man.
Gonna be 2 laps
Look,
to
man,
go.
I did. Not
Be a
that
green line
time.
checker.
I got one on you, though.
17. Got the lucky
Lucky
dog.
dog, huh?
Got a lap car coming.
Well, I got
Go on,
2
man.
X's, so
You'll be lining up behind the 17.
that's because you spun out. I would have got the 2 X's if I hit you. Then how did I get them? I might be next. I didn't hit you. Uh-huh. Oh, man. Just tell me what it says.
That could be netcode. We can take a look at it after. We'll hold hands. We'll get through it together, guys.
And the 26 viewers.
And some Cool Ranch Doritos.
For not to hold hands with a male.
How many viewers?
I thought it was 26, no?
Is that how would you know that? Are you watching?
Well, I mean, I can leave and make it 25. I don't know. It's up to you. Can't be a fan?
I don't know, man.
Big bags of Doritos, all the same flavor.
I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like you like me. Watching someone you don't like, that just sounds weird to me. I know it's 50.
Oh yeah, no, we bought out every bag of Doritos in the small school town I went to, which were like 30 of them, because the whole gimmick was I was in a bathtub full of Doritos and others.
John, I always like watching, just don't like racing against you. It's different.
I don't like racing against people who run over me either, man. It's all good.
The irony of that guy saying he doesn't like racing with somebody.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just complete lack of self-awareness. Kind of like the lack of awareness of what's going on with the front end of his car.
Johnny, I think the fact that the number 1 thing was talking about the blinking car and the number 2 is talking about Doritos and your awesome paint scheme, I think we're definitely going to check out trading paint, so no worries there.
Serious,
We are having a hard time hearing you. If you could get that mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
Yeah,
would
don't worry about that.
maybe help us
I'm
a
giving
little
that man a follow on trading
One
paints
to
immediately
go.
after this race.
Hell yeah, go Johnny.
Only 15 seconds of repairs left. Then I'm going to figure it out.
I believe in you.
I hope you do. I'm rooting for you to figure it out. We're going to get through this together, guys.
Hi, big girl. It's up to you, man. Pace cars off, be ready. Green flag.
We're going to try to take the 16 high. That didn't work.
White flag. Outside.
That's what the kids call a gaggle.
Still outside. Still there.
That wasn't me, 15. That was the 11.
Still outside.
You had the tires, you had the pace. Nice
Clear.
win, Matt. Great job.
Nice podium there, 23. Great win, Matt. Good race, guys.
Great finish there, 12.
Checker
Really
flag, my
fun.
man.
I'll take that top 5. That's a good way to finish the season.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Did
Sorry about earlier,
fantastic.
man. I didn't mean to
Good
get
job
into
again.
you.
Hey, no problems at all, man. I think early in the race I know you got kind of wrecked and we were 3 wide. I know I never got anything with that, but I felt a little bad that we kind of tagged a little bit there.
That race started out as one of the best races I had this winter season, and just want to thank the 11 for wrecking it for me.
And there was a couple of knuckleheads that wrecked it for the rest of us.
Well, that was a lot better than what it could have been.
Hopefully the other ones go better.
I'm making my list.
I've got my cover all figured out.
Congrats on
Knucklehead of the
cover,
race
Matt.
award to the 11. We got
Come
the
in, go,
cover
go, go, go.
shot.
Hard, hard, hard,
It's
hard.
going to be brilliant.
Yeah, Wesley, I looked at that. He totally ran you over.
All right, let's take a look here. Congrats to Bussa on the win. That was impressive. Like the pace he had all race long. I feel good about 4th, especially the way that race was going.
Thanks for all the Doritos support. Much appreciated. Have a good night, fellas. Congrats on the win, Matt. Now you left already.
There we go.
Hey, Johnny,
Yeah, buddy.
you gonna run NIS this year? NIS Open?
Yeah, I plan on running open in 5th.
Woo, double duty. I'm not doing both, but I'm gonna run open, so maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, well, I keep having races like this. You won't, because my rating will be down. But yeah, I hope to see you there, buddy.
This one was barely even a spin.
Have a good one.
You too, man. See you.
This was the... Yeah, I think what happened here, they were talking about it. It's the one checked up. Oh, yeah. The 8 got in a little bit too hard there. And, yeah, it wasn't really the one checking up too hard. But you see how the 8 got on and then he had to get off the brakes, it looks like. Just, yeah. We had that happen to us a couple times, and then we moved the brake bias forward, or further forward, and that helped that issue out. Let's go to lap 37. Put it on TV3 so we can actually see what's happening. Caution's already out. There it is. Barrett Coffey. Yep, it's up in front of him. It's Tom Pritchard in the 21 car. Self-spin. Oh, we did that earlier in the race. Good looking Alan Kowicki paint scheme. Not excellent. Not an excellent corner, though. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Sammy. Good thing he hit squared with the saver barrier. It doesn't even look like it did any damage to the car. All I ask for when I race with people is to just, you know, I give a lot of respect out there on the track. You just want to get it back. That's it. Doesn't seem like that hard of a concept, really. This is the 17 car / 4 car of Barrett Coffey. Losing it on his own out of turn 2. I definitely made some strategic mistakes in this race. Staying out too long. I stayed out one caution too long early on. But, you know, we made some good strategy calls late in the race to recover. So, worked out in the end. Oh. Is this Sammy again? I didn't realize Sam had such a rough race, and he still finished 8th. Not bad, dude. Good-looking Piedmont Airlines car, too. Oh, yeah, I remember that. They were inside of me. He got clipped by the 19 a little bit. Oh, there's a bunch of them in this deal. We're going to go to TV2 and watch this again. So this was when I was still out on the really old tires. This is when I should have pit right here, actually. Because, yeah, right there, my tires are too old at this point and worn out. And I was doing a good job of holding on to it. But, yeah, someone lost a wheel there. That popped back on the car. All right. That was lap 45. Oh, yeah, and then that was where we had the really long run where I about lost it because my right rear was down at 9%. Does sound a little bit like a crush. You know, here's the thing is that, you know, like, he's not the first guy to, you know, be chirpy with me. It's like, if you got an issue with me, just message me and talk it out. Like, he said he's got an issue with racing with me. I'm not really sure why. I don't think I've ever hit the guy. If I have, please do let me know. I save all my replays. Jake, if you're watching this, bud. 1, 2, 3, Chaz. Dude, like, we're gonna get to it. If you got a problem with me, seriously. You said you got a problem with racing with me? Have I ever hit you? I don't think I have. I don't like being run over. If you run over me and you say, oh man, I didn't mean to hit you, I'm sorry, then we're fine. You know? I don't hold grudges. I'm not looking for that kind of drama. But when you run over me and then you start yelling at me and calling me names and stuff like that, I don't take kindly to that. Ryan here was having the same issues holding on to his car that I was. Had he also stayed out the entire race up to that point? I don't think so. I think he had pitted already. Maybe not. But yeah, that was the cause of that caution. '24 car. Tries to go into the 26, slips up, gets a little bit high, and he pays the price for it. All right, back to TV3. What was the next caution? That was 90. We go to... Oh, I remember this one. Oh, I didn't realize Cole went down in there on the apron. That was not a... That was a little aggressive out of Cole. I called this wrong earlier. I mean, you know, he he wasn't wrong that the 11 was also putting a lot of pressure behind him. Everyone's getting really aggressive on this restart. I decided to go middle, so they go down low. I don't know what was going on with the 22, why he was... Like, I have no idea why. This is the weird thing with this restart. I don't know why he's hanging out down here. I don't know if he had some kind of problem going on with his car or what it was, but that really caused a weird stack up, as you can see, going into the corner. So while Cole going down to the apron was a little bit aggressive, I feel like that's at least partially on the 22, just because, you know, you're not maintaining race pace going into the corner, and when everyone else is racing around you, that can cause issues. I was trying to go around him on the outside. I got into him and it turned my car. So this was a low point for me in the race. I was pretty frustrated by that point. Just at the I was just situationally frustrated there. Oh, I think we know which moment in the race this was. This is going to be our cover shot for the race. We're going to get super clickbaity with this. I mean, did I even lift there? I guess a little bit. Like, I'm rolling the center pretty good. I mean, to his credit, you know, he said roll the center better. And, I mean, to his credit, he is rolling the center pretty good there. But, you know, from my perspective, what I'm doing here is I see the 26 and the 12 side by side. So I know I can't do much. I'm just trying to get a good run off the corner. And I just get, I don't know, I get flat run over. And then, you know, that was a little bit of cherry on top. That's not the 11's fault that someone else slid into me. It just didn't help my mood at the time. Yeah, let me, that's not a great angle of it. I didn't get rear chase. I'll just do the, all he had to do was say sorry. This is all in good fun. But we're going to have a nice clickbaity little cover shot for this thing. Hopefully we'll get a few more views on the YouTube channel. Knucklehead of the Race award goes to the 11 car. Oh! I was lucky that didn't kill my right rear tire right there. That was very fortunate. Alright, so that was the caution that we were involved in. Unfortunately, we weren't involved in any others the rest of the race. Let's see, lap 108. We're already back under caution. Why? I think I see it. That's a 6 car. Let's see. Oh, the 6 was mad at the 1 here. Ooh. We got to go in the 1's on board to just to see what he's doing here. Like, that is a bit of an early lift, if I'm being real. Usually right about when the chip starts hitting is the earliest point when I was braking. Now when you're on the inside, it's a little bit earlier braking point, but I can see that, you know, generally when you're following a guy real close, you usually lift a little bit earlier just because you don't want to do something like this, but this is even on the inside, that's a little bit earlier than I would have hit the brakes, I think. So I can understand this, the one not reacting to that. I don't know if I would have been able to react to that in that same situation, but I can sort of see, I can understand the 6 being pretty upset about that, but I can also understand the one's perspective on that deal. Oh, there it is. That's the 6 and the 19. Yep. I mean, kind of similar deal as what a lot of these were, which is that there's a situation developing here where the 19 is kind of checking up for it, and the 6 just sort of drove into him. And the 6 already frustrated at that point in the race, but yeah, that one's on the 6. Not going to spend too much time on that one. That one's pretty straightforward. Lap 125. I think the caution's already happened. Yep. This is, looks like Cole in the 4 car. Oh, that's the 8 again, just kind of carrying too much. Carrying a little bit too much into the corner here. Doing the same thing, like he's trying to catch it, and because he has to get off the brakes to catch the wheel hop, it just sort of carries his momentum into the car in front of him, and Cole ends up paying the price for it. Spins it around, and that is that. Let's see, lap 136. That is the one turning the 7, which happened right next to us. So let's see here. This one's the one going down in the corner, got a lot of speed. The 7 has to check up for the 19. And, ooh, they both get driven into the wall. A lot of damage there. One's pretty badly hurt. So, now let's see. So here. From right here, you can kind of see why this happened. The 7 is completely obstructing the one's view of the 19 car. The one really can't see what's going on with the 19. So that when, you know, the 7 kind of has to start lifting for it, you can sort of anticipate it going back. You can, you know, if you're here, when you're right here, you can see from the 19's angle that he goes up that he's going to be a little bit slower through the center. So, you know, you can kind of prep for that, but a lot of guys drive just, you know, head down, nose forward, or however you want to phrase it, and yeah, that's what happens. Is it just, you know, he is thinking go and not thinking lift, and sometimes that's the result of that. I hear stuff happening back here. Let's... Oh, this is the 6. And the 25. Oh! The 6 popped his engine. 6 missed a shift there and popped his engine. I think I remember the 11 saying something to that effect, so this isn't really on the 11. This is the 6 popped his engine. Everyone's laying way back here too. Yep, you can hear it. The engine goes before that happens. So that one wasn't on the 11. That was the 6 made a mistake and popped his motor with a misshift or something. So, see, I'm fair. I'm not going to unfairly assign blame to someone on that just because I had an issue with him in the race. That was not on the 11. Oh boy. Here's the big one. This is where he lost the whole room. Yep. I mean, that ain't netcode. Let's see what it looks like, at least from his perspective. We want to be fair here. So, wow, what the heck? There was a lot happening on this restart. I don't know what Barrett's doing down there, but the 25 ran into the 11. The thing is it's all cleared up by now, and then he just runs into the 13 and sends him into the wall. But yeah, let's go back and let's see, because sometimes things go stop. So we're looking at the leader over here, who is off screen right now. Laying brake. The leader's blinking, 4's blinking. Yeah, so that's one of those deals where folks are bunching up and stacking up, and you've got the 17 car up here starts, or the 4 car, the Harvick car, blinking out. And so yeah. And then now we're going, finally. And good shift. Yeah, I see what happens here. So what Jake and the what the 11 car here, what he's thinking is, I'm gonna go down into the corner right here. He's like, I've got to run down. I'm pointed down to the bottom, and he just misjudges it. You know, he just misjudges where the front end of his car is and clips the 13. I don't know what it actually looked like from his end, if there was some kind of connection issue there. I mean, there was definitely contact there, though, that the server registered. So yeah. And I mean, that's a rough angle for the 13 to go into it. You hate to see the Doritos car go out like that. Broke the right front, so that's required repairs. That's a bad deal. Oh, I hear stuff happening. Now, this looks like a very similar deal. This just looks all kinds of similar. Because we got the... This is not on a restart, though. But we got the 18 up high. We got the 26 down low. 18's a little squirrely. And the 26, man, almost exactly the same spot. Just look at this. This is brutal. New damage model. Do your thing. That's rough. All right, let's go see. I think we know what this looks like from the 26 here, but I also, come into play in some of these things with the tire differential. I don't know what the tire differential by these guys is. But yeah, the 18 kind of moves down a little bit low to protect here. And I don't know if the 26 is already in his braking zone. It's a little bit of a late move from the 18 to protect. That's a little bit harder to call. It's kind of a racing deal. Yeah, a lot of people just like. I mean, the front ends of these cars can be a little bit longer. Oh, and I didn't realize this after the caution, after the wreck already happened. The 11 again. Like, that's particularly unnecessary because we're already under yellow. I mean, he gets a good run. He's not wrong that he was rolling the center of the corners really well, but I don't care how well you're rolling the center of the corner, you can't just drive through the back end of someone else's car. Especially when there's already a wreck. Like, there's really no need. There's going to be a caution. Anyway. I'm not trying to pile on. I'm just observing what I see with these. And then that was it. We raced to the end from there. And we'll just watch the last couple laps here. Bussa in the 2 going on the 8. I'm trying to make a move on the 16. I'm trying to get the 3rd at this point. Got a good run on the 16 there coming out of turn 4 or turn 3, however you phrase it. Some folks call it Phoenix 3 corners, some call it 4. Was that the 11 again? I'm going to go back and look at that. And, yeah, good corner. I tried to get a run on the 23 there. I knew I had fresher tires. Don't know how much better they actually were at that point. But, I'm pretty happy with 4th place, given everything that happened in that race and all the drama. So, let's see. I see the 15 car sliding. And yeah, it's a stack up. The 15 car has a checkout. This one's a little bit different. This is less on the 11 than the other ones. Like, the 15 definitely checks up more, and it's a little bit of an accordion deal. So I can't in good faith really put all of that on the 11. Yeah. So, at the end, 4th place is a good finish for us. That's a good way to finish out this series. Congrats to Bussa on the win. Let's call it a night here. Chrome Horn recap completed. 30 more iRating gain. We're up to a 53.91, 174 points. That's not bad. That was a fun race. All told, well, it was a messy race, but good result at the end, so I'll take that. I had some fun. Do kind of wish I would have stayed out on that last pit stop rather than pitting. I think that if I would have, I don't know that I would have won, but I might have finished a spot or 2 better. Maybe I would have won. I don't know, because yeah, I don't know. It might have been the winning call. Because since it was just caution after that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. If you like the video, please do click that like button, hit subscribe, and then head over to twitch.tv/John Theodore Live and click that heart to give me a follow. Thank you very much. Peace out, y'all.